was to join.
Oh, great.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good
Morning.
Morning.
March
Good morning,
2nd.
Bill.
Boy, February went by really quickly, didn't it?
Always does.
Let me see what I've got here. Oh, yes. The Irishman and the travel agent. A man is walking down the street in Dublin when he sees a sign on the window of a travel agent that says cruises down the Leafy River, $100. Wow, he said. Goes into the agent, hands the agent $100. The travel agent puts a life jacket on him, whacks him over the head, and throws him in the river. Another man is walking down the street, sees the same sign about a half an hour later, goes in and pays the travel agent $100. The agent whacks him over the head, puts a life vest on him, and throws him in the river. Sometime later, the river's moving rather swiftly, by the way. Sometime later, the two men are floating down the same river together. The first man asks, "Do you think that they'll serve food on this cruise?" The second man says, "I don't think so. They didn't do that last year."
Yeah.
More than that. Blonde girl.
St. Patty's Day's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh, Anybody remember what we talked about last month?
Email.
Okay. We talked about Safari last week. We talked about Safari.
That was last month.
Yes, it was last month. Using the
It was
internet.
last month. That's true. Grab your pen or pencil, piece of paper. And we're going to have a little Safari quiz
Oh, goodness.
brought to you by Jeannie from Google.
Oh, no.
Question number one: Who developed the Safari web browser? Google, Microsoft, Apple, or Mozilla? Number two: what year was Safari first released? 2000, 2003, 2008, or 2012? That's just an interesting question when you see the answer.
Yeah, because we didn't get the
Following is
information.
not a default feature in Safari. Is not tabbed browsing, built-in email client, reader list, or bookmarking websites. What's the name of the search engine that typically is used by default in Safari? By default now. Bing, DuckDuckGo. See now, if you DuckDuckGo, Google, and Yahoo. Safari's a browser. Search engines are
$3 bags of pretzels while I'm not buying 3 bags.
DuckDuckGo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Google, and Yahoo.
Could you repeat that, please?
Bing, DuckDuckGo.
What was the question that I didn't get?
Oh, what is the name of the search engine that is typically used by default in Safari?
Thank you.
It would help probably if I shared my screen.
It would be nice.
And the answers again were
That better?
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like it when I see the in print. I'm a visual person.
What is Safari known for? Ooh, extensive customization options, high security features, fast performance and efficient resource use, being capable with all operating systems. What
We
is a
really didn't
reader
cover
list?
this.
What is the reader list feature in Safari used for? A is savings, B is saving and managing bookmarks, saving articles for offline reading, sharing articles with others, or taking notes on websites.
Gee whiz.
What's the name of the built-in password manager in Safari? Keychain, iCloud Drive, iCloud Photos, or Apple Pay?
Okay.
Number 8, what is the private browsing mode in Safari used for? Viewing websites in a different language, which is letter A. B would be blocking pop-ups and ads. C, browsing the internet anonymously. And D, changing the appearance of the website. That's what is private browsing. And the answers are who developed the Safari web browser? Apple. What year was Safari first released? Believe it or not, 2003. It was on the Mac before it was ever put on an iPhone or iPad.
Mm.
Which of the following is not a default feature of Safari? Tab browsing is, reader list is, bookmarks are, but built-in email client is not. Safari does not have a built-in email client, but it does have reader lists for saving articles for later. What's the name of the search engine that's typically used by Safari? And would be Google. You could use any one of those four. Number 5. What's Safari known for? Fast performance and efficient resource usage. Number 6. What is the reader list feature in Safari for? It's for saving articles for reading later. What's the name of the built-in password manager in Safari? And we talked about that some. It's Keychain.
Yeah, we did.
And what is private browsing? That's browsing the internet anonymously. Now, private browsing doesn't guarantee a complete anonymity, but it prevents Safari from saving your browser history or cookies. And it requests the websites you go to not to save information, but that's a request. They can't control the website you go to. Okay? 8 questions. Hopefully all of you got, I don't know.
3, right?
I got 2.
I got 3. You know what though, Bill? We didn't cover this.
We didn't cover which
I like your other tests better, wherever you get those tests.
you
I know those answers. These I don't know.
Well, we wouldn't know. You wouldn't know the Safari was released, and you wouldn't know. Well, you should have gotten number 1
Yeah, we got number 1.
and number 2, number 3. Which of the following is not a default feature? Okay, we did cover tab browsing and bookmarks.
And we knew
I
4.
didn't specifically cover reading list, so we could have got B or C there.
We
What's
got
the name
4.
of the search engine?
Yep.
We did talk about that, didn't we?
Yep.
No?
Got that.
That one.
Pardon me?
We did.
We
Okay.
all
That
got
was-
that one right.
That was a good one.
What is Safari for? And you probably wouldn't have known that,
No.
but
No, we didn't.
it's one of the better performing and less resource using browsers. Remember, I said a test is not just do you know the answers, but it's a learning vehicle.
Right.
And the reader list, right? Well, saving articles for offline reading might have sounded pretty good. Number 7, keychain. We did talk about passwords.
That we knew. Mhm.
Okay. And private browsing. Well, I don't know if I covered that. You're right. But there's a way to set up Safari so you can privately browse. And I can show you how to do that.
Well, I think once you showed the printing word, we understood it better too.
If I go
You
to
know, you
Safari,
were just telling us the question, any, multiple choice, we weren't quite following what you were saying, so it was harder to
oh, it helps
comprehend.
be able to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oops. Bloop, bloop. If I open up Safari, see where it says private browsing here at the top?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But if I press these little square, you get the side panel. You have a choice, private browsing or now it's not private browsing. That's the way you get back and forth between private browsing and non-private browsing. And what they do is they darken this bar up here. See how the bar is dark? If it's not dark, you're not private browsing. So it's kind of, I'm doing this behind in a closed dark room. You're private browsing. On the
Is
phone,
that like incognito? Incognito?
incognito, right? And on your phone, when you go to Safari and want to do that, let me go to Safari here. If you press and hold the two little squares, I'm going to just press and hold them. And it comes up and said start page or private browsing. Again, I could change that to private browsing, and that's what happens. Okay. And as a tip of the day, we didn't talk about tip of the day. As a tip of the day, it's one about Safari. So if I open Safari, and I'm going to open it on my phone. I could open it. It's already open on my iPad here. If I open Safari, and the idea here is, can I save the information on my phone or my iPad of a website that I'm on, right? And it's called Save a Web Page as a PDF on Safari. So you go to Safari, and I'm just going to type in LL Bean. No, maybe not. Okay, I'll do it on my iPhone. So I've gone to a website. Let's go to the official LL Bean website. There we go. Right, here we are. I've got to do something. Let me check something out here. Okay.
What are you doing or what is the purpose of this?
Well, let's assume you loaded a website from Wikipedia that has a lot of information on it, and you don't want to read it right now. You may want to read it later.
You're
could
showing
say
us,
that-
reading or,
Oh, no, I'm just showing you the technique. We'll go to Wikipedia. We'll go to maple trees.
I'm getting lost.
Well, all I'm doing is doing a search for maple trees by using Google. And then I'm going to scroll down here to where it says Wikipedia. There it is. See, it says Wikipedia right here. And I'm going to tap on Wikipedia. Whoops, did I get Wikipedia? No, hold on.
It usually says the word Wikipedia, doesn't it?
Yeah, right there it says Wikipedia. Down here it says ennwikipedia.org, Maple. And there I have, now I've opened Wikipedia and I have this big long article, right? And I don't want to read it right now. I'd like to read it later. So to do that, you take the opportunity here. You see the little square box with the arrow coming out the top of it, down at the bottom of my iPhone?
Yes.
That's called the share box. And that's going to share the information that you have on your screen. So that would be a logical place maybe for you to click to see if you could do this. In other words, if I ask you, can you save a web page information somewhere else? I would hopefully you would be drawn to that particular icon. So we'll tap it. Okay. Now I don't see it here, right? I don't see add to page, add to home screen. I see a lot of different stuff, but I don't see.
Says add to reading list.
Say again?
Add to reading
If I
list.
add it to the reader list, I have to have the internet on to get to it again. But if I tap options here at the top, it says PDF. And then say done.
Oh,
That's
Where did-
great.
Where did you get done? Where was it done?
Upper right-hand corner.
That's great.
Completely mixed up here.
And then it says save to files. And I tap that. And it opens up my files application. And we'll talk about files application later. Okay, but then I tap save. So now it's actually saved as a PDF in my files.
That's great.
Where in your files?
Under PDFs, and I'm going to go there, see if I can find it.
All right, thank you.
Where's files?
I don't know. I guess it. Oh, good.
Yeah, it just started.
Oh, okay.
Going down. Probably should have been a little more cautious where I put it.
Should be in recents.
Is there one called recents there?
At the top of the files, it says recents.
So brown.
Yeah, there it is. Thank
There
you,
it
Bill.
is. Mhm.
It should be, and it is. So there it is. And now it's on my device, and I could read it on my device.
Where did you find recents?
And on your iPhone, it's at the bottom. When you open files, I'll close files. And then I'll open files again. And at the bottom, it says recents.
Mhm.
My curiosity said, where is it? I went to browse,
Okay, got it. Mhm.
and then I couldn't find it.
On an iPad, it's part of the list that's on your left-hand side when you're in files.
Is it?
Mm.
What's it called? PDFs?
Recents.
Recent.
I know. I know it's, oh, he's saying, where is it on the iPad to find the word recents?
Mm.
And it's on my iPad as well now because it's saved in the cloud. So it'd be under iCloud Drive. And it's called Maple Tree. So I put them in alphabetic order. It should be under M.
Why wouldn't you save this in readings if, readings that you save articles to read later?
A good question.
Let's try that since we're there. Let me go back to Safari. Hit the share box. And it says add to reader list.
What now?
All right, so I've added to the reader list in Safari.
Where does it say that? Mm-mm.
Where does it say add to reader list?
Yeah, how come I don't get that?
Okay, I'll do it on the iPad and the iPhone.
Okay, let's do it on the iPhone. Ta-ta.
Mhm.
I'm missing a step somewhere here.
Yeah.
Why would you choose one over the other?
I'm getting there. Just a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Adding it to the reader list. Then I go to reader list. Now, if I'm not on the internet, I don't believe I can get it. So let me turn off the internet on my device.
Oh, I don't have that.
Okay. So the difference is it's saving it like a temporary bookmark in a reader list so you can go back to that website and read it later. When you save it as a PDF, you can read it when you're not on the internet.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
That's the reason for the difference. All right.
Recording in progress.
Did I hit record to start with?
I don't think so.
Somebody's echoing. Okay.
Is it something good?
Yeah, I didn't start recording, did I?
No,
You
Uh-uh.
did.
you just did now.
Somebody did, I didn't.
I thought you did before.
No,
Yeah.
I
It said recording, but I never.
at the beginning,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Mhm.
Yes.
it is, yeah, I am recording. Okay. Oh, cool.
I think DuckDuckGo doesn't like me, the new version.
My, I have to do something here. Hold on. Hmm. Yeah, my iPad just froze up trying to display it on the screen so you see it. So what we want to talk about today is calendar followed by Siri. So we're going to talk about calendar first. We'll spend about 45 minutes on calendar, maybe a little longer, and then switch over to Siri. Wow. Hmm. I'm having a technical glitch, folks, so just a moment, please. You can see, you can hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
no
Yes.
problem.
And you can
Yes.
see my screen.
Yes,
I'm going to change it so you don't. How's that?
yes, we see your main page.
Strange screen, right? Okay.
Yes,
Very.
very.
I'm hoping this works. Oh, I know what happened. Remember I said I was going to shut off Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Well, I did.
Bill,
Yeah.
on the top left-hand side of the screen, at least on my screen, there is like a I don't know, it's a four-pointed something or other triangle that has a little star on the top of it, and it's blinking on and off. What is that?
Recording.
No, recording's next to it.
I don't get that screen right now.
Way at the top where it says
I see
recording.
that. I
and
see that.
You see
I'm
it?
not sure. I'm not sure what it is. It'll tell you what's going on, right? It says live performance, etc. If you tap it, it's also an AI button. Wow. Okay.
Yes. It's been enabled in this meeting.
Yeah, it should be.
You had enabled AI companion when we started, and that's what that one was.
What was it, Bill? We enabled what?
AI companion.
Okay. I believe that's the one that's interpreting what we're saying and making a text, speech to text from the
Yes.
meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Worst.
Okay. First thing we have to do with calendar is see what's set up. And this is going to seem a little complicated to some of you. And I'm going to try to clear it up a little bit. If we go to settings and we go to calendar in settings, it comes up and says accounts. I have 4 different calendars, I think, that are feeding my Apple calendar. And I'm integrating all the information from all 4 accounts. So I have my Google Calendar, which is what I use primarily, feeding my Apple Calendar account. I also have my wife's calendar, feeding my Apple Calendar account, and it integrates the two with different colored dots, so I know which ones are hers and which one are mine. I also have the iCloud calendar, and I may have one more. And you may ask me, well, how do you know that, Bill? You see where it says accounts here? It says 9. I have 9 different email accounts. But if I tap that little 9, I get a list of all of them.
Mhm.
And each one of them has some text underneath. So there's Google, there's my Gmail account, and I have getting a calendar from it. Here's my wife's account, and I'm getting a calendar from it. I'm not getting a calendar from any of the other ones. I could, if I tap the little arrow on my Hotmail, and get the calendar from my Hotmail. So what Apple's providing for me here is a way in which I can get all my calendars meshed together. And it really works well between my wife and I, because if she's at a doctor's office and is making an appointment where she's going to require a driver, she can schedule it based on her account, her calendar, and my calendar at the same time. And she puts it on her schedule and it shows up on my calendar. Does that make sense to everybody?
No,
Yes.
Say yes or no. I don't.
no,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
No,
no.
Where did you
Okay.
go to find the calendar?
I'm in settings and I went to calendar in
Oh,
settings.
okay. All right. Thank you.
And you're saying, well, how did you get all these different accounts? Well, you see where it says accounts? I could add another account there at the bottom. Okay.
But I have one.
So for those of you who are using the Google as your primary calendar, you could tap add an account, tap Google, and put in your Google information there and start getting your Google Calendar or your Yahoo Calendar on using the Apple application. The reason I like to do that is it integrates with everything else that's Apple on your device.
which password do you use?
Or if I did this, I would use the Google email password.
Google email.
So I would type in William T. Crow at Verizon.net or at gmail.com, and then it would ask for the password, and I would put that password in for that account.
Okay, I'm going into the settings, and where is the calendar? I have my picture on top and it says Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, network, notification, sound, and nothing is in calendar there.
See where it says settings on the top? Are you on an iPhone or iPad, Kathleen?
I'm sorry, I'm on a Mac, so that doesn't count.
You should be able to do the same thing on the Mac, though. It's a
Yeah,
little
no.
different technique.
No. Nope.
Go to settings in and accounts.
Oh, accounts, no, I knew there was something I was missing. Thank you.
Okay. You with me so far, everybody?
Bill, I'm looking at my screen and in accounts, I only have 3. If I click on the Gmail, it has the green oval under with the word calendars, mail contacts calendars. Isn't that not the same thing as what you did instead of opening up a new account?
You don't need to do a new account if you already have the Gmail in here. In other words,
Yeah,
I don't need to add a new account if I have this.
Don't have
Right.
it, yeah.
yeah.
If
When
I
you click on it, then it shows a green.
Let me
yeah.
explain that, right?
Okay,
If I tap the arrow,
yeah, there.
it says here, I'm looking at, if I open my Apple Mail account, I'll get the Google Mail. If I
Yeah.
open my contacts, I'll get the Google Contacts. And if
Yep.
I open the calendar, I'll also get the Google Calendar.
Yeah,
Now, I don't want to get the Google Notes. Each,
Bill,
here's the key here.
your screen
Wait a
for
minute.
your iPad is too small. We can't see the whole. We
Say
can't
again?
see your whole screen.
You can't see,
Well, we can't see like after mail, we don't see the circle of green or whatever on your iPad here.
you don't? Are you
No.
the only one that's having that problem, or is everybody having that problem?
I see it.
no,
Do you? I don't know why I don't. I see you.
Okay, you see a column of folks there?
All I see is
All
like
of us?
I see mail, contacts, calendars, notes, and then delete down there.
What's
But I
covering
don't
it?
see anything.
What's covering it up?
You, a
So I
picture
thought,
of you.
at the top of that picture, there's a bunch of symbols.
No, oh, way over here. Okay.
plus and minus, you mean?
There's a little minus sign, a bigger square, and a bigger and
Okay.
equal sign, and then a Rubik's cube.
We
Hit the
don't see
little,
that. We
hit the
see
little
plus and
minus
minus.
sign.
Well, with the 2 blues, do I hit that?
No, hit the minus sign.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That do
Thank
it?
you. You learn
Yes.
something every day, Bill.
Bad. And if all of you are having that problem, you hit the little minus sign at the top of the pictures.
Okay.
It's an underscore as well.
Okay.
I still can't find accounts.
I went to, if you look at the screen, you can't
Right.
find accounts.
Yeah. Where you're having, is that the screen that's supposed to be accounts in there?
No, it's, calendar is supposed to be there.
So I'm looking for calendar rather than accounts?
Yes.
Okay, that was my
Then
problem.
within calendar, you look at accounts.
Then you look at accounts.
Okay, let's see.
Each, many of us have, you'll see there, I have a Yahoo account, an AOL account. Many of these account providers, in addition to providing you mail, they provide other things. For example, when I tap the one for Google there, it provides not only mail, but calendar contacts and notes. If I tap the one for Yahoo, does the same thing. If I tap the one for AOL, notice it's very limited. Does not have a service for your calendar or contacts.
Got mail. Calendars, reminders,
Okay? And because Verizon is now a subsidiary of AOL, it doesn't have those features as well.
Either. Okay.
And Microsoft provides the full litany, including one called Reminders.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Now I'm still in settings and I'm going to tap the back arrow at the top to see what else I can do with the settings for calendar. My time zone is Miami. Alternate time zone is off. I want to see week numbers. I don't want the week view to start with today. It would always be on the left side, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
Bill, I hate to do it. I still can't find calendar. I looked for search calendar. It says Apple ID, iCloud, Apple
Are you
ID.
looking at your
privacy-
Mac?
I'm sorry,
Are you on your Mac or one of the?
my Mac.
I can't help you on your Mac. I can't.
Oh, okay, okay,
All
all
right.
right. I thought you said it was the same as the phone, so sorry.
Well, it should be, but you have to be able to find the right place.
Okay.
And I can't help you there.
Okay,
All right. I want to sync all events across all my devices. I'm not going to get into show invitee declines. You can invite people when you're setting up a calendar. I don't want to get into that today. Right? Default alert times. You all may be interested in that. You see where it says default alert times? If I tap that, it says if I have a birthday. If you have somebody in your contacts and you have a birthday in there, it will automatically show up on your calendar because you have your contacts in your Apple contacts and you have your calendar, and it automatically bridges the two. And it says here, I'm going to do it 1 week before the birthday happens. Events. When I schedule something, it's going to show me a reminder of the event 2 hours before, and I can change that, right?
You mean like an appointment?
Yes, like appointments. They should have one for me. It's 1 hour after. and then I missed the event. Anyway, okay. And then an all day event. When do you want to be notified about that? Okay. You can also, if you're set up correctly, if you tap time to leave and you put an address, and I'll show you how to do that when we get to calendar and actually setting up one. If you put the address in the calendar, you can have it send you a reminder. It will calculate where you are and where the event is and figure out how long it will take you to get there. And it will give you a reminder it's time to leave to get to that event.
Oh,
Okay.
my goodness.
So that's pretty sophisticated and it works.
So why don't you have yours turned on?
It's my iPad. I think I have it on my iPhone.
Okay.
Let me check. Good point, Jim. Let me check. Yes, see, it's on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Bill, can you refresh my memory how you got into this section?
I went to settings,
Yeah, calendar.
calendar, and that's it. These,
Yes, I've
all
got
I
it. Yeah,
mentioned
thank
here
you.
now is.
I'm doing it on my iPad now too, so instead of just my phone. Thank you.
Yep. The default length of an event I made is 1 hour. Most of the time, 1 hour is good for many, doctor's appointments. You could change that. Hit the little arrow. You can change it to anything you would like. My week starts on Sunday, so it's a normal calendar. You could change that. And here's the important one, the whole list. Because I want to be able to get to this on my computer, I am using Google, right? And I have a PC, not an Apple, right? So I can go to google.com and put in my ID and password and check the Google Calendar.
Mm,
And remember, they sync across all of them. So I'm going to make sure when I add an event from my device, I'm putting it in the Google Calendar and not one of the other, not my wife's calendar or somebody else's. All right?
Bill, that's so important. Could you go over that again?
Yes, it is very important.
And
When
the
you
unsync, on sync, how do you know what is synced, or how do you add
They're
something?
syncing across all the calendars. You want all events to go everywhere, right?
If I
All
want
your
them on,
devices,
if I want
right?
them on all my devices, how do I know that they're on all of my devices, my watch, my,
All of them are Apple.
okay,
It says, I want to sync all events across all your devices. Anything that's has your Apple ID and password.
okay, thank you.
That would go from your Mac, your iPads, your iPhones, etc.
And continue with what Anne was asking, please. I too would like, again,
The default calendar.
she asked, go ahead, Anne, ask what you asked.
Because we really need to, mine still aren't synced and I don't understand why, so I
What
need
does
to.
it say
over
right
again.
there? What does it say right there on this one, Anne?
Oh, I don't see where you're pointing to.
default calendar.
It
On
says
default?
calendar.
Says home.
It says, oh, calendar shared by John Ross. That shouldn't be, right?
No, what's it say? Default calendar.
It says calendar with an arrow. Where
Okay.
yours says WT Crow, mine says calendar.
Tap it.
Uh-huh.
Now here's the different ones that could be my default. Because I have all those different accounts, I could be putting it in Gmail, my wife's calendar, or the Apple calendar.
I don't see Apple. Am I muted? I don't see Apple calendar. I see calendar, July, home, work, iCloud calendar, and calendar shared by John.
See where it says iCloud here at the top?
No, I don't.
That's the Apple calendar.
Oh, I must be on it. I'm on my phone, not the iPad. Is
Okay,
there?
we'll go to the phone, it's the same thing.
Well, mine just says calendar, but that means Apple. It says on my iPhone and it says calendar.
If you only have one, it's going to be Apple.
Right, yeah. And then it's got the other ones, so it's got like Gmail, it's got Outlook, and it tells you those.
Which
But
one
it's
do you
not,
want? Which one do you want to make entries in when you log in?
it's
When
my
you make an
Gmail.
entry- When you make an entry on your phone, your iPad, your computer, which one do you want it to go into?
It goes into my Gmail.
And that's
Should
the
it go into
default.
iCloud calendar? I have iCloud calendar. You don't, Bill.
Don't worry about what I have. Okay.
Okay, and under iCloud, I have calendar, July, John's calendar, home, work, iCloud calendar, and calendar shared by John Ross.
Okay,
Which
what's it
do
say
I
at the top?
click?
And what's it say at the top of your screen?
Default calendar, and then, and before that, it says back, yours says calendar.
Okay, mine says default calendar, right?
Yes, and so does mine.
These are the ones associated with, I'm pointing at right now, associated with Apple, one under iCloud. Here's the one associated with Yahoo. Here's the one associated with Gmail. Here's my wife's calendar.
Yeah, okay, but what do I click to sync all of these? What do I click under
They're all
iCloud?
being synced. Which one, when you, this is key. It's called the default. The default means when you make a calendar entry, which we're going to do in a little while, when you add an event, which one of these calendars is it going to be added to?
Well, you can't only click one.
When you add one, I've got to explain this the right way. If you have the same setup on your iPhone and iPad, it doesn't make any difference. They're going to sync and you'll have them on both devices. If, for example, you're like me and don't have a Mac, I have a PC. So I don't have access to the Apple calendar. So I have to select a default calendar that I can access on my computer. And therefore I chose Google to be my default calendar. So whenever I make an entry, it shows up on all my Apple devices, no matter which one I make the default. But it only shows up on my computer if I have selected the Gmail one.
Google. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Bill, under my Gmail, I have all these lists of things like places where I take classes. I don't know why they're in there. I have all of my calendar done by a color, but is that
Yes,
that
that's the
why
way
it's
they
in?
show up. They show up by color.
But I have this listing that says, Senior Planet, DeRote, exercise, get set up. All
Okay.
these are under Gmail.
Okay,
So what does that mean?
that means that's how they were put in.
It doesn't mean they have access to them?
Just bear with me, bear with me.
Okay, all right.
What is your default?
Gmail.
Okay, whenever you make an entry from this device, it's going to go into Gmail.
Should I do that too, Bill?
Pardon me?
Should I do that too? I don't have a PC. I have a, whatever you call it,
Laptop.
laptop. Thank
Android.
you.
That's a PC, Ann.
Oh, it
Oh.
is?
Yes.
Okay. So
You
do
need
I
to-
check the name like you check the name?
If you
under
want it
Google?
to sync across all devices,
Uh-huh.
they all have to be Gmail.
Oh, so I check the same as you check Bill Crow, I check my name.
Right.
Thank you, that might work.
That will work. And it will work on all future ones you set up, Ann. It won't work on the ones you've already done.
Oh, rats.
Okay?
Mhm.
I
You
told
basically have to decide where you're gonna put your calendar.
Yeah, that's the first thing you should do.
Well, how do you mean where you put your calendar?
That's what you just did.
Are you gonna keep your primary calendar on Apple or are you gonna keep the primary calendar on Gmail?
She wants to be able to look at it on a PC, so she's gonna put it in Gmail.
Right.
Do I have it right then, Bill?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a way to look at your calendar, Apple Calendar on a PC? I don't, oh, if you go
Yes.
to apple.com, you can do it that
Yes, you
way.
can do that.
You go to apple.com or you can bring up, there's a control panel for Apple. You can bring up the iCloud.
Yeah, any,
That's a little more tedious. All right. Any questions there? So what Anne was doing is she was putting her calendar, she was making an entry on her phone, but it was going into the iCloud calendar. And when she goes to her computer and looks at her Google Calendar, it's not there. There's one or two ways she could do this is she could switch to Google Calendar on all devices, or she could figure out a way to go to the Apple Calendar on her computer.
mhm.
Bill, I thought of another question. When for instance, when like Stug or somebody or other else puts in dates for me, and then something happens, I can't take the dates out. So how do I remove something that somebody else has put in?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't let somebody else put them in.
Well, I mean, it's easier. Stug comes up with whatever you were talking about was something where you can click this and put this in your calendar from you, right? From Stug that Ann was talking about, that the lady hadn't sent it out.
No, Ann was talking about something a little different, but
Okay, all right,
I haven't dealt with that particular problem.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
thank you.
If I use my AOL email to put my calendar, can I get that on my computer? Do I use that or do I have to use Google?
The problem with AOL, I think we mentioned, Apple does not interface with the AOL calendar.
Okay,
Hey, Bill,
so you should use Google.
Bill,
Go ahead, Jim.
Jim McIntyre. I use Outlook, which is
Okay.
part of Microsoft
MSN,
365. And with the Outlook, I can simultaneously display the Apple calendar and the Comcast calendar at the same time.
Okay,
There's a setting to do that. So you see both of them at the same time.
that's basically what we're doing here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it on the same calendar, Jim?
There are two calendars. One is called,
It doesn't integrate the two.
no, they're not integrated, but
Okay,
they're viewed simultaneously. And if you
Understand.
want to copy one from one to the other, it's easy to do. Just click and drag.
I understand.
But both of them are displayed simultaneously.
I understand. On
Okay.
mine, I'm integrating them all together. So if I go to calendars, all right, everybody, I'm switching now from settings. So I'm going
Yeah.
back to the home screen and I'm going to tap the calendar. The one with the number 2 on it.
I missed it.
And I'm looking at just look at your screen for a minute and don't look at your stuff. And just see what I've got here.
I missed
I
this.
have the weekly view on my iPad. All right.
Could you go back?
I have the weekly view on my iPad, and you'll see my color is green and my wife's color, right? My wife's color is orange or yellow. So it's integrating her calendar with my calendar. If I had scheduled something in the iCloud using the Apple calendar, I could have it show up on this same calendar. And that's when I was talking to Jim. I said, does it integrate them? These are integrated, right? So it'd show up here as different colors. He's saying on his PC, using the Microsoft MSN Outlook, it shows up at two different calendars. Same thing, but it's on two different calendars. All right, everybody?
Bill, how did you get these two images?
How did I what?
How did you get to where you see on the screen? Is it an original icon or under the settings when you hit calendar?
I tapped. This is the
Calendar.
calendar.
Because I was looking for an icon that said calendar.
No,
Okay,
it
on
just has the date on it.
Okay,
I know what you mean. Okay,
okay.
No, no,
now we
I
got
don't-
through. Go ahead.
I didn't get
My-
that.
Mine wasn't showing, and so when you swipe on my phone, it's not showing on the bottom. So when you swipe left to right, then I have a white square that says Saturday 2, no events today, and that's my calendar. So it's a
That's
slightly
correct.
different.
Well,
Okay.
where it's located is one thing, yes.
Yeah. Hang on, I have to find it on the iPad now.
Yeah, yours is on my, if I had it up here. Right, I don't see it on here or here, but it's here. All
That's
right.
too fast. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's just spend a little time here. I'd like to schedule an event. Right?
Okay.
But before I do that, I should know how to navigate this calendar app a little bit, right? So we probably should go through some of the symbols up here at the top and or the bottom, right?
Yes.
One of the symbols that's there on my iPhone is calendar, and there's it says calendar on my iPhone at the bottom. The symbol on my iPad is a thing that looks like a very small calendar up there in the upper left. If I tap that, and I'm going to tap it on both devices, it gives me the list of calendars that I have and which ones that I'm looking at. So I can overlay them. So if, for example, you see where it says my name, where is it? There it is, right? On my iPad, you see it?
Yes.
If I turn that off, all the orange or the green ones will disappear, right? If I turn it off for my wife, where is she? Right here. All the yellow ones will disappear. Now, you may have multiple holidays at the top, and that's because, and let me go to the month view now. Right? See where St. Patty's Day is on there once on the month view?
I've got two. I've got
If
two
I
St.
tap
Patrick's Days.
holidays, I can get it to show up multiple times. So now I have it on there twice because I'm getting it once from Patty's calendar. I'm getting it from different sources. So what's in this side panel on my iPad is determining the calendars that are viewed on the right side. The same is true on your iPhone, except you can't see them simultaneously.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you get rid of a calendar that you don't need anymore?
Just tap it, tap the little check mark, and it disappears. So if I tap the little check mark and say, I don't need my calendar anymore, and it's green, then I tap it and all my appointments disappear.
So there's a repetition of birthdays, for example, or the holidays. You only need one set, correct?
Well, depends on the source. For example, birthdays. Where are your birthdays coming from?
I don't know.
Right. And no, the birthdays are coming from your contact lists,
Mm-hmm.
your contacts,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So and that's where it gets the birthday information. So all my birthdays are in the Google list. So under William T. Crow, I should have birthdays checked there.
Or under Gmail, correct?
I have a check for my wife's too, because she might have some birthdays in her contacts I don't have.
Mhm.
But I don't need it in other.
Correct.
And what you do is you play with this to make sure you're getting the information you want.
What does home mean in the calendar, in the iCloud calendar?
What does what mean?
Home. You have it under after family in the phone on the iCloud.
These are all the Apple calendars.
I'm
But
on
what-
the iPhone, Bill, and it says
Apple has the calendar capability of making different subcategories of its calendar. So that's what that all means.
How can we add, you've got family or, because all I see is work and home. How can you add classes or family?
Why would you want to do that?
Well, you've got it.
Well, I know, no.
Whatever you do.
That's what came with my Apple device. I don't know why they're there. I don't use
Oh,
them.
oh, so you didn't put them there. Okay. All right.
Now, where is it you add birthdays?
You add a birthday in the contacts.
And how does the contacts put that into your calendar?
Okay.
Automatically.
Magically.
It's magic.
Well, my fairy godmother is not
Just
there,
wait,
so
Kathleen,
how do
this is
you?
one level of sophistication you have to understand. Okay. You know how you could have calendars with your different accounts?
Yes,
You can have contacts with your different accounts.
didn't know that, but go ahead.
For example, my wife has a Google contact list and I have a Google contact list. And I'm viewing both of them. You could have one in Apple. You could have a contact list. And it gets the calendar birthdays from those various sources.
Okay, I will look a little bit more closely and see if I can find that. Thank you.
Okay. The whole world got a lot more complicated when they decided they were going to allow all these different sources for your calendar or your mail or your contacts or your notes. You could have notes in Google World. Okay. Think of it as different notepads or different calendars. You have a calendar in the kitchen, that's the Google one. You have a calendar in the dining room, that's the Apple one. You got the idea? All right.
Bill, I have a category that says birthdays shared by contacts. Would that mean that it goes across Gmail, Hotmail, and iCloud or any other source that I'm using? Or because you also have birthdays under each separate one, under Gmail, under Outlook, and under iCloud. I don't.
What do You
Oh,
have
there
it-
it is. Birthday shared by contacts at the top there. Would that be, look at all your contacts, no matter what you're using?
Where are you seeing this?
Right at the top, you've got under your show all, William T. Crow, the next one, birthdays, shared by contacts. And you've got it checked off.
My iPhone or my iPad here?
Oh,
Well, I'm seeing it, actually, it's on both of them. It's right, second from the top. Shared by contacts, under the word birthdays, with the purple circle. And so I'm asking if that does all of your contacts, whether it's Gmail or Hotmail.
I
Or,
don't know. I always just turn it on, so I don't worry about it.
Bill? I
Yes.
have one that says calendar July for some reason. Why should I have that on? Should I get rid of that one? Uncheck it
Where are you?
on the very same as your iPhone, on your iPhone page. And it says, under iCloud, it says calendar July.
Somebody's been really messing with your phone.
I think so. So, but I can't, how do I find out?
I haven't created additional calendars in the iCloud, and that's what looks like somebody did.
So just uncheck it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
what's on your iPad? Are you going to talk about the next image over from the calendar to the right of the number 2 at the top left?
You mean that one?
Looks like, yeah.
What is that? It says your mailbox,
Oh. Okay.
inbox. And again, I have not ever used that.
Okay,
All right.
that's all right.
The little dots at the top of the screen there on your iPad. On your iPad gives you a list of all your events. Finally, one that made a little more sense, right, everybody? Right, it gives you a list of your events by day over time. Now I have a question, don't tap it, but I have a question. What does the plus sign do?
Probably add some more.
Add what more?
Adds an event.
It adds an event. So we're not going to do that yet. On your iPhone, there's a little box with some lines underneath it. If you tap that, it can currently it shows your events scheduled for a day as a list. And you can change the day you're looking at. And again, on the iPhone, they did the list slightly differently because they don't have as much space. Instead of the side panel coming up listing everything over time, it just does it for a particular day.
Bill, I'm looking at my iPhone and in March, it's got hour by hour. How do I get out of that? Gesundheit. How do I get out of that to get the month showing on my, instead of the hourly?
What's it show at the top?
Well,
Hourly?
well, the whole screen is 6 a.m. through till 1 p.m. It's as if Saturday, day by day. I want to see the whole month.
I know, it's
Yeah.
this screen, right?
Yes,
Look at your phone,
yes, I'm looking at it.
and where might you click to get something different? Look at the top left.
The back arrow.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And then, so once you go back to the whole month, do you hit the plus arrow to get down to the hours,
No, no,
to
no.
the day?
You would tap one of the days on the screen to look
Oh,
at the day.
okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Obviously, I don't use the calendar. Okay, discovery here.
I understand. That's what it's supposed to be.
Okay,
On the iPad, they make it a little easier to do that kind of thing because they say day, week, month, and year.
can you get down to the hours on your iPad as well? If you hit the
If you
day?
look at my iPad, it is the hours on the whole screen there when you're on day.
Oh, on day, okay. Yes, thank you.
Tap week, month, year. And if you want to go to a different year, you scroll up and down, right? You want to go to a different month, you put it on months and you scroll up and down. Now I'm on my iPad now. You want to go to a week, it works differently. You can't scroll up and down. You scroll, put your finger on the one of the days and you pull it over as you go from week to week. And you tap it on day and you just tap the day at the top of the screen. And then you can move that as well. So we're on the 2nd, right? Ooh, how come oh, that's January.
January 21.
2021. Oh, I got to go to year and go to 2024, don't I? There we
The
go.
print is very small.
Which screen, which one are you talking about?
I'm looking at my mini
iPhone?
iPad and I haven't used it as a calendar, but I'm looking at what I see. The print is going to be small.
Yes, depending on which if you're looking at the month, the print is pretty small.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, even the week. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is all about navigating it, right? You figure out, well, I either go left to right, putting my finger on the date, or I go, if I'm in months, I go up and down.
Now, Bill, your iPhone is in 2023, January. To bring it up to date, what would you do there?
What would I do? There's a good question. On the iPad, I was hoping it does. Wait a minute. Let me go back to month.
It's your iPhone that's
Hold
incorrect.
on.
Okay.
If I'm on my iPhone, at the
Yeah.
bottom it says today. So I'm going to go way back here. So I'm now 2022. If I just tap the today, it takes me to the monthly view of and today is the highlighted number. Same thing happens on your iPad. And there's a word called today, and it takes you to today with a monthly view, and 2 is highlighted. I could
Yes.
tap number 2, and it takes me to the monthly view with number 2 in it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So they make it kind of nice to get around. It's the whole point of that.
And the inbox?
Say again?
Inbox at the bottom?
Yeah, I don't use the inbox. Bill, do you know what the inbox is used for?
Yeah, I sometimes get an email that has a calendar entry into it, and it comes up with a little flag that says I've got a message to enter something in a calendar.
Okay, so it shows up as the inbox in calendar.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Bill, I can't get the month on my. How do I tap to get to the March 2024?
Are we talking about the iPhone or the iPad?
Both, either.
On the
I'm in
iPad, you tap where it says months at the top.
It says calendar on the top, and then where do I go to get the month?
Are you in settings?
Yes, settings, calendar, and then
No. If you could please go back to your home screen, get out of settings,
yes,
and tap the icon that has the number 2 on it, because that's today's date.
Oh, oh. Now I got it. Thank you.
All right. So we've done about everything we can to negotiate around here. Except what?
Right in it.
Yeah, add an event. You see,
Right.
you see the plus sign, right? So we tap the
Mhm.
plus sign. Right? And it comes up and says, this is a iPad. And I just put iPad CLA. Oops. And I just put iPad class. It comes up with some of the previous ones I've had. I don't want to do that one. I'm going to do it on both devices. Okay. And I could use one of those at the top to make an entry, or I can just scroll down here. It says location. If you put in the address, if you're going somewhere and put in the address, you can use that address to give you directions to get there.
Good.
So for example, if I put my address in there, right? So I put my home address in there, 6234 Buckingham Street, right? And then I could say, when's the start time, date? And you can change the date. You tap where it says date and you just put in. It comes up with a calendar view and you select the date.
Sorry,
So
where did you see the date?
it says starts and it has a date there.
Yes. Okay,
And you
thank
tap
you.
it.
Yes. Okay, so next week would be the 9th.
Right. So I tap March 9th
Okay.
and I
starting-
tap where the time is. And I can change the time by the little scroll wheels.
Yeah,
So far, so good. Right. And then I scroll down a little bit. I'm going to use the New York time zone. Toronto works too.
does it have Toronto there?
I don't know. You can tap the arrow and see. Probably does. Probably does. If I type in Toronto,
Sorry, where are you finding the, I was focused on getting the date in the
Okay.
thing.
well, I tap where it says time zone.
Okay, and I don't see time zone. I see travel time.
Above that.
I'm on my iPhone right now.
I am too.
I don't have a time zone on mine. I've got travel time, repeat, calendar, invitees. Don't have a time zone.
You don't have an end time?
Yeah, I have starts, ends, and then
You
below
don't
that
have,
travel.
you don't have time zone, is what you're telling me, between start and end.
I don't have the words time zone on my screen.
I'm not
I've
sure
got
why.
travel time.
Yeah, but then we go to end. When does the meeting end?
Ooh, there. Okay, now I've
Right.
got time zone.
I'm saying March 10th and it ends at noon. I'm not going to give it any travel time. Right, and that's all I really need to enter. And I can tap the word add.
Cannot save event.
Okay. Now, if you're doing this and you're saying, gee, I have this meeting with Bill every Saturday at noon or 10 o'clock. Can I make that a repeating meeting? Now, I didn't learn to use this right away. I learned, several attempts later that I can avoid having to put it in every week by just tapping where it says repeat there.
Where is repeat?
So if I tap repeat, and it says every week, I could tap that, or I could customize it. So I'm going to say every week.
Mhm.
And now it's going to be on my calendar every week, every Saturday at 10 o'clock for as long as my calendar's working.
I do too.
And I tap add. And there it is.
Some other than sync.
Bill, I've got the date, but I've lost somehow the hour information. How can I call that back? So I'm saying starts
Let me-
March
hold
the
on.
9th.
I understand. Let me add an event. When you tap the date, I don't know why hours disappeared. So I
I'm
tapped
looking-
the
May
date.
have clicked all day.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
turn
you. Yeah,
that off. I see.
thank you very much. Hallelujah.
You could tell I did it
We're-
before.
We're
You can tell
sputtering
somebody
along
did that
here. Sputtering along.
Say again,
Start-
please.
I'm saying we're sputtering along.
That's okay. This is what it's for. I would rather we sputter along to start with and then basically get it going, basically.
Bill, I've added next week's class 2 times and it doesn't ever show.
You didn't add it both times. What calendar did you put it on and which one are you looking at?
Well, it's on my iPhone and I've been putting in events all along. But next Saturday, I have something scheduled all day. So it usually would show if I have something else scheduled on top of that. However, this time it didn't do that.
I'll bet it does. If you,
I added and I put in Bill Crow class, Saturday,
are we
March,
talking- first of all, we're talking iPhone or iPad?
iPhone.
Okay. And you tapped add,
Uh-huh.
and you tapped where it said add,
Yep,
and then let's go.
it's not there. When I clicked on add, it's not there.
Hold on. And let's go to, you said you put it on the 9th of this year?
Yes, yes, of 2024.
And I'm looking at my iPad, I'm looking at the monthly calendar.
Oh, well, oh, you want me to go back to that?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
And now tap the 9th.
uh-huh.
And does it have an event all day?
It has an event from 8 till 5, which has been postponed.
But it doesn't show, if you scroll down, it doesn't show something at 10 o'clock or whatever time.
Oh, guess what, Bill? It
Yes.
shows it at 10 p.m. instead of 8.
Oh,
And it shows it 3 times because I put it in 3 times. I was so frustrated.
now, Anne, you have just learned more than anyone else in the class.
How about that?
Can I make a suggestion here?
Go ahead, Bill.
I screw up sometimes with I can't find the class I put in for the afternoon and I find it's 2 a.m. instead of 2 p.m. Or I sometimes forgot to check that the date I was putting it in was the date I wanted to put it in. And I
Yeah.
can't find it anymore. So what I do is I go to search. On the
Good
phone,
point.
it's the magnifying glass, and on this, it's the button. And I put in the thing that I just entered. And it will come up with a list for me.
And Lance is going to come up with 3 of them.
It will do that.
So let me, Bill, I'm going to take the opportunity to expand on that a little bit. if I tap the magnifying glass, see it up there? On the iPhone and the iPad. It's called search, right? And I'm looking for, let's look for iPad. See how many I've got that way. Okay. And eventually out here, it's going to say iPad class, and it goes on and on and on. So I have an iPad class December 28th at 10 o'clock. So we found all the ones that say iPad in them. Every once in a while, I get a call from someone. I have been to their home to help them with their computer, and I don't remember their address, and I wrote it in the description of the note. So I type in their name, and it finds them somewhere in my calendar and shows me the event, and then it shows me any other information I added to it. Okay, everybody? So thank you, Bill. That was excellent. Good timing, too. All right, and thank you, Ed, for asking the question. If I add another event, notice some other things that are down here. You could actually put notes with it. And don't forget, if you're going to somewhere, put your put the address. Because if you have the address in there, you can tap it and it'll give you directions to get there.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's try one more. I'd like you to put in a class at 1 o'clock on next Tuesday. Just try doing that and tell me if you have a problem with it, all right? So I'm going to tap the plus sign. I'm going to say iPad maybe. Right? I'm going to tap the location is, and you could say current location, right? It puts in the address you're currently at.
Oh, that's such good news because if I don't put in location, sometimes it gets mixed up and I put in Zoom because it's a Zoom class and it doesn't work.
That's not a location.
No, it messes it up though.
Okay. And I'm going to
Actually,
put
I
in,
do that.
pardon
I
me?
put in Zoom. If I have to be on a Zoom call, I put in Zoom because I know I've got to get on my computer wherever I am.
And it
But
works for you?
Put it, where do you put
Yes.
the,
Oh,
you
As,
put it in,
as my location, I write in Zoom, ZOOM.
what's it do?
It tells me in the calendar when I look at an event that's one that's on Zoom instead of on a particular address I have to go to.
Okay.
so
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna try
that.
it again because I
I
think
want to see
that's,
what it gives me. Okay, it just says Zoom, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
doesn't work for me.
And then I'm going to have it on Tuesday, the 5th. Starts at 1 o'clock. That's PM.
Good.
ends on March 5th at 3 p.m. or 3 p.m. Doesn't repeat. Tells me what calendar it's putting it on. That's my default calendar. All right, and I'm going to get an alert 1 hour before. And I tap add.
Okay.
All right.
I think there's another thing you need to cover, Bill. If you do a monthly event and the monthly event, you put it in for the 4th of February and you say, I want to do that every month. It will assume that you want to do it on the 4th of February each month. And actually, you might want it on the first Tuesday or the last Wednesday or whatever. So you need to go
Okay.
through, you might want to show them custom.
Yep. What Bill's talking about is if you put in an event and it's a repeat event, and you want to say, so for example, we have a board meeting for the club it's usually every second Monday of the month, right?
Right.
But it depends on the month. So that was a little it's okay, let's make one the first Wednesday of every month is when we have the Stug presentation meetings. So if I want to add that, I would tap add and I'd say Stug presentation. Right? And then I'm going to go to it's March 6th at 7 p.m. Right? And then it's about an hour and a half long, so it ends at 8:30. So if everybody just does that.
Hey, Bill, tell them to
Go
put
ahead.
it on for 6:30 because that's when we have the help desk.
I understand. Okay, good point. We're trying to make this accurate, huh? 6:30 a.m. Is that what it is?
PM.
All right. So far, so good.
Mhm.
6:30, and then I scroll down to where it says repeat. Right? And I can say repeat every week, every month, but then it's going to be by date versus by first Wednesday. So I tap where it says custom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I tap where it says frequency. Ooh, wait a
Where
minute.
did you, oh, frequency.
Wait a minute, Bill. This is not working out nicely.
You're doing all right. You just needed to
Yeah.
go to every month.
Yeah,
Repeat
monthly.
Yeah, just put monthly.
every month first, and
Mhm.
then
Yeah, that's on date, isn't it?
But then it says on the date, and that doesn't work.
No,
it's not working
So
out.
if from here you click custom,
Custom.
right.
the frequency will be monthly.
Ah.
So
Ah. Right. And on the, I don't want a day, I want a day.
click on the.
Click on the. All right,
Yeah,
let me
when
try
you-
it again. Hold on.
Okay,
Okay, it's the
now you're gonna repeat.
actually March 6th. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now click repeat.
Wait till I get there. Click repeat.
Yeah, now click custom.
Custom.
Mhm.
Frequency is monthly.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then see where it says check at each. Check the line just below the each. It says on the.
Where's that? Oh, yeah, okay.
Just below each, it says on the.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
beautiful.
Wednesday.
Now you say the first, second, or third of
Yeah,
Monday,
I know.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
First Wednesday. I'm glad you were here, Bill. I
Oh,
usually do it
beautiful.
a different way, but
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bill.
thank you. Okay,
So then how do you get that to show, or doesn't it?
now I just tap, I think it says new event there at the top. You hit the back arrow.
Yes, just hit the new event and it should be repeating.
Add, right?
Yep.
I got it. Done one of Ann's things here. I got it about 6 times. Okay. But let's see if it's in each month. Let's go to April.
Let's go to April. Ta-da-ta-ta.
There it is.
There it is, uh-huh. Aren't we smart? Huh?
Okay. So now we expect to see you all at the April meeting. Now, we're not going to have time to cover Siri in any detail right now. We'll probably pick that up next week. But what I do want to show you is something, since we're in calendar, do I really have to do all that typing to add an event? No, I don't. If I bring up Siri, I can mention the event I would like, the time and day I would like, and it will automatically put it on my calendar. Okay. If I just say the word schedule, Ann Ross at 2 o'clock today, it will put it on my calendar. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll do it on my phone. Schedule Ann Ross for 2 o'clock today at my home. Okay. And so it's been added to my calendar. And if I go look at my calendar, I look at today, there's Ann Ross, 2 o'clock today. So again, the terminology to use Siri is just to say schedule.
Okay.
And then what you want to schedule. Schedule Dr. Jones, schedule football game, schedule movie. Whatever I follow schedule with will be what you're scheduling, and then the time and the date. And it looks like you can put in at my home as well, but it didn't pick that up as my location. I'll try it, see what that works, see if that works. Schedule Ann Ross today at 2 o'clock. The location is my home. Oh,
It's nothing called my home.
Try just saying my location.
try just saying my location. I'll try that. Schedule Ann Ross at 2 o'clock today at my location. So it scheduled it, but at my location.
He's confused, but we're not.
we're getting a little too sophisticated there, but I'm in a doctor's office and they want to give you all these little cards. And I just say, schedule Dr. Smith, October 2nd at 3 o'clock. And it's on your calendar. And I don't need to lose the card. All right, everybody. Couple of things. We'll get Siri set up, and then we'll talk about its some of its many features next time. But I'd like to at least set it up right now. If you go to settings, again, everybody go to settings. Everybody go to settings.
Okay.
And tap on Siri and search. In settings. So we go to settings and then Siri and search.
Not that far, so.
Okay, I found this on the web for settings. Check it out.
All right, dear, thank you. All right,
Why do you have allow Siri when locked turned off
where are you looking?
on the phone?
I'll talk about that in a minute. It says, listen for Siri. And it's listening for Siri or Hey Siri. And from now on, I'll spell it SIRI because your devices are liable to go off. If you decide to use that particular listen for feature, if I turn it off now and then turn it back on, it's going to go through an exercise with me where you have to go through and it will give you particular sentences to say, and you say them so that it gets used to your voice. But you just follow the directions.
Mhm.
All right. I have pressed the top button to get to Siri on both devices. And I don't want Siri working when the device is locked. So when I haven't put in the passcode, I don't want Siri talking to me.
Is there
Okay.
a good reason for that?
Say again?
Is there a good reason for that?
Yeah, I just don't want it going off in my pocket when somebody says, "Hey Siri."
Yeah.
Good morning, Siri. How are you?
Good morning. Morning to you.
Hmm. Okay.
All right. The next thing you can do is you can select the language you would like Siri to work with.
That's pretty.
I happen to like the Australian accent, so I just have her talking to me with that accent. Now, Anda would probably choose the English Canadian accent. Okay.
There's no French Canadian accent there, I assume. So, no, I've got,
Okay. But if you choose a different language, be sure you can speak that language because it will converse in that language. Then you can choose the voice, and Aussie has two different voices. If I chose English American, it gives me five different voices.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Okay.
Bill, you've got under language English Australia. Do they have to be the same with the Siri voice? So if you had language, is that just for spelling or what? If you had American for language, English American or American, and Siri voice is Australian accent, will that mess it up, or you've got the same Australian under your language and your voice? Is language the spelling part of it?
Well, let me try it. Let me go and say I want to change Aussie to American.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Okay.
No, I meant the other way. Put American for the language and keep your Aussie voice for your
Siri.
Do that. Uh,
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So yeah, I can have it that way.
So it must be in some spelling if they bring up some text or something. Because Australian spelling would
I
be
don't think I
British
could get an
spelling.
Australian voice in Korean. Okay. So if I go down here to Korean, okay, now it's only It's got only voice 1 and 2 for Korean.
It's always Korean, yeah.
So you didn't change the voice, correct? Soon as you typed in language Korean, then automatically it changed the
Yes.
voice to Korean? Okay,
The voice selections you can have.
so it must be something to do with spelling.
When Siri writes something down, does she do it with Australian spelling?
Siri, choose the voice.
That would
you'd
be
like-
British spelling,
This
yeah,
is only for Siri now.
yeah.
Okay. Where it says Siri response, I swear I prefer a spoken response
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Always show captions so I see what she's saying
Mm-hmm.
and it shows what I'm saying as well. Okay. So I have those two on. Let's see.
Do call, hang up.
What's that one do? Hey Siri, hang up. This,
There's nobody on right now.
so it's during a phone or phone conversation, I can actually ask Siri to hang it up for me.
Well, if you are, this is important because if you're talking to somebody and you've gone to a different page and you're still on the phone talking to them, but you're well into another area whatsoever on your phone, you
phone's
can't
still
get back
open.
to them.
You can say Siri, hang up. That was one way to do it. Sure,
If you have this on,
sure, yes,
if you have call, hang up on.
yep.
So I
And just
need,
be sure you don't say Siri, hang up in the middle of the conversation. They're liable to be insulted.
no, but often I get a call and
I know.
we went to another location and they don't hang up. And
Well, you can
can't-
hang up.
And eventually they will, but I've had it where I can hear them talking in the background.
I know, but you can hang up on it.
Now I can, but I didn't have
Oh,
call
no,
hang up on.
before you could too. You just
How?
tap you tap the phone on the on the phone call. Siri, call Ann Ross.
Calling and Ross mobile.
I can't make a phone call with your iPad.
Okay, I've got the phone call.
Go ahead and answer it.
Hi, Bill.
See the red phone on the bottom?
Yes.
Tap it.
Well, that will end the call, but if I'm not there, I'm going to be I'm in another thing. You've asked me some information about something and I'm in another part of the phone altogether.
Okay, let me show you. I know what you mean. So you went here and you're starting to talk away and we're talking about calendar and I go look at my calendar.
Right.
How can I get back to the phone to hang it up?
Yeah.
I would do that by putting my finger at the bottom of the screen, moving it up to the middle and stopping. And you see the icon that has the phone on it?
Yes.
And then I tap that. I am.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so happy to know that.
All right, good.
And there's also another way, when you're on the phone and you have a call that you're still working on and you went to look up the calendar and stuff like that, there'll be a little green thing in the upper left corner and you can touch that and it'll bring you back to the phone to hang it up.
Which corner?
We'll
It's
do
in
it
the
again.
upper left when you've got an active call and you've gone somewhere else.
Hey Siri, call Ann Ross.
Uh-huh.
Calling and Ross
I can't
mobile.
make a phone call with your iPad.
Go ahead and pick up,
There you
Ann.
go. Okay. Now I'm going to drift away from this page, right? Okay, and I'm going to be talking about some note that I have. So
Look
I'm
at
on the notes.
Look at the top of the screen, the right side.
It says giving me of the right side or the left side. I've got this.
On the iPad, it's the right side. On the iPhone, it's the green phone.
It's the green thing. It gives me the time of day. It says 11:58.
But tap the green thing.
Okay. Oh, it takes me back. Oh, that's so much
Yes.
easier.
Yes, it is. Good.
Thank you.
Oh, I see.
Thanks, Bill.
Hopefully that helped everybody.
Mhm.
You hung up on me.
That's
I-
great.
I did. I'm sorry.
All right, back to Siri settings. Right? Announce calls. I say always. Let's see. My info. See where it says my info? Hopefully your name is there. This is the important one. Where it says my info on Siri within settings. If it says your name, you're golden. If it doesn't, you need to do that. And to do that, your name has to be in contacts. So my name is in contacts now, right? And it's pointing to it.
Does it make any difference whether first name is first or last name is last?
No.
Doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
Why doesn't it take you to your name rather than just the list of contacts?
Because it doesn't know you yet.
Oh,
Yeah, when you tap it, you mean? Yeah, there's my name, but it takes me to the list of contacts.
Yeah.
That's okay. See, the
Just search
reason
your
for that,
name.
the reason for that, and I have to go to my contacts and show you.
It looks like it would take you to your name and contacts.
You'd think it would, but it doesn't.
Okay.
If I go to my name in contacts, I have a lot of information in there. I have my phone numbers, so I can use that phone number later. I have my email addresses. I have my home address, birthdays and anniversaries, and I also have added to contacts, and we'll cover this when we get to contacts, all my close friends and relatives. So I have my wife identified as my spouse, my son identified as my son, my daughter-in-law, etc. Get the idea there? And we can cover that later, but if you go to contacts, you can add those. The reason I add them is I can say, hey Siri, send a note to my wife.
What do you
Which
want to
one?
say?
941-349-0515, 941-320-0430, or csmcentire@comcast.net.
Hit send.
So you see what I
Which
did?
one? 941-349-0515, 941-320-0430, or csmcentire@comcast.net.
Somebody was following my directions. But to get the idea, you can use all the information you have in there. Siri, when's my birthday?
Your birthday is on the 8th
What
of
do you want to
January,
say to Carolyn?
112 days away.
All right. Because the only reason it
Your
can do
message
that is
says,
because
away. Do you want to send it or change
somebody
it?
needs to turn off their Siri.
There's nothing to stop here. Check if the
That's
device
you.
is on your home Wi-Fi network.
That's you. Or is that Jim?
It's Jim.
It's Jim.
Hey, Jim. The reason Siri is able to do all that is because I put all that information in my contacts. And in the Siri settings, I said, that's my contact information. So the birthdays, anniversaries, addresses, phone numbers, I can say, Siri, call home. Stop it. I can say, Siri, call home, and it will do that. Siri, good one for me is Siri, take me home.
Getting directions to home.
And I could tap go and it will take me home. And you're saying, well, don't you know where you are, Bill? Well, I'm sure you're familiar with many of the developments around here where you dive into one of them and you're making lefts, rights, and centers, and you don't know how to get out directly.
Yeah.
I just do that, and bingo, takes me right out.
But then you must have given somehow your home address.
It's in my contact. It's in my name. My contact information. If I go to that,
Right.
here's my contact information.
And so, Bill, if I had my Ottawa, Canada address in it, I need to put this address in. If I said to Siri, when I went down to deliver all those laptops, I got lost. If I said, Siri, deliver, help get me home. If I had two addresses in there as a snowbird, Siri, what are the chances?
You would add the second address and have a special name for it. You can add multiple addresses.
Okay.
And Siri would come back and say, which one?
Okay.
This is a funny one. This happened to me. I was teaching this class. I was actually talking about Siri to when we had presentations with Stug, and there was 100 people, however many were at the meeting. And I said, Siri, call my wife, and it said, which one? Because I had multiple addresses and multiple phone numbers in there. Anyway, all right, everybody. We will continue on Siri and show you some of the other features of it next time.
Okay.
And if I look at my calendar, right, and I look at next Saturday, right, we're going to talk about maps next week, and we'll talk about Siri as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
When are we doing contacts?
We can fit that in somewhere. I don't see it on my list. Did I cover contacts already somewhere? I did
Don't think
not.
so.
I don't recall it, but
So I've got to do that. I'll do that next week as well.
good.
I usually try to have all the subjects, but I didn't get contacts. Okay.
Thank you. Yay, great.
Okay. You know, I worked with the Boy Scouts here in the United States for about 30 years. And I took a group of scouts to Yellowstone one summer. And we met the park ranger. And we were going to do a 6-day little outing. And he was advising us. He said, everybody have their bell to make a noise, and it'll scare the bears, right? They're coming from when you're coming from a distance, it'll scare them away, and then they won't attack you. Because if you startle them, it could be a problem. And does everybody have their pepper spray? We said, yeah, we have our pepper spray. If they start charging at you, you can spray them with pepper spray. So keep both those things with you. And always be on the lookout for bear scat, he says. And the boy said, well, how do you identify the different kinds of bear scat? He said, well, black bears, their scats usually has some berries and maybe some grass in it, right? Brown bears, their scat's a little larger, and it has the berries and grasses and probably some small bones and fish scales and things like that. But grizzly bears, wow, their scat's really large, and they contain small bells and pepper spray.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Bill,
Yes.
I don't use Siri, so for me now to do the setup, do I just, I need to have her or it identify my voice?
People do that when you go to setup.
And go to,
If you
go to
tap,
the,
if you go into
Okay.
settings and
Yeah.
Siri,
okay. Siri and search, I'm in it
you
now.
see where it says listen for Siri, turn that
Yes.
on.
Here's what I
And
found.
it will switch gears and start asking you, it will print on the screen, say the following.
Okay,
And you'll
all
have to
right.
go about 5 of them, I think, it'll ask you to say, I'm not gonna say them all because
No, no.
Siri.
It may
Okay.
pick up your voice and I don't want to have them.
Yeah, you don't want
Okay.
that.
We'll
All right.
try. Thanks very much. And, all right, thank you.
Have a good week,
Thanks,
everybody.
Bill.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye.
Thank you, William, for your help. I appreciate it.
Glad to do it.
Bye-bye.